kick it, Jackie Chan.
Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett.
The yo bitch wanna kick it, Jackie Chan.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to another rebuild here on Madden 24. Today, we are stepping away from the mods, and we are going back to the PlayStation 5 to rebuild the Dallas Cowboys. And make sure that at the end of this, we got to make sure that the Cowboys are still dem boys, because I don't want to say it, but I feel like Dallas could be potential fraud alert, potential fraud alert. I don't know. Philadelphia is the same way. Buffalo is the same way. Miami could be the same way. Kansas City could be. Like, I don't really know who the best team in the NFL is this season. It's kind of weird. But Dallas loses to Buffalo recently. They don't look good. But then again, they look really good at home. Just when they go on the road, they don't play as well. It's weird. I don't know. Dallas is a strange team. I know you may be thinking, Juice, why does Dallas need to get a rebuild? They're like a 10-win team or an 11-win team, depending on when you're watching this video. Why does Dallas need a rebuild? It's because they're too inconsistent, and we need to make that consistency 100%. So sit back, relax, and let's rebuild the Dallas Cowboys. If you go and enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get started. This is the Cowboy roster that we're going to be working with. Dak Prescott is our quarterback. He is 30 years old. Now, we know that Dallas in Madden simulation simulates unbelievably well. The Dallas playbooks are so good that we shouldn't really have to worry about missing the playoffs any of these seasons that we are doing this rebuild. So that's a good thing. But Dak is 30 years old. Do we need a new quarterback? Is Dak going to be the guy for us the entire rebuild? We'll find out. He's very good, though, in Madden. He's very, very good. He's got a stupid cadence in the NFL in real life where he's like, here we go. It's so, I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Luckily, it's not in Madden, so we don't have to worry about that. But Dak is our quarterback. Tony Pollard is an interesting one at running back. He's 26. He's an 85. I like Tony Pollard. I really do. But is he the guy? We'll find out. We will find out. He's got good ratings as well. CeeDee Lamb obviously is a stud. We don't have to worry about wide receiver 1. I could add another receiver. We're probably going to have to add at least one more receiver to this roster, whether that's a draft pick or a trade or something. We're definitely going to have to add another receiver because they're just pretty thin at like top receivers. But CeeDee Lamb certainly is a #1 receiver on this roster. He can certainly be that. We got Michael Gallup. We got Brandon Cooks. They're fine players. Brandon Cooks was good when he was younger. He's doing okay this season. He's doing good. But he's a little bit older at this point. We don't know what we're going to do with him. Speaking of old, we've got Tyron Smith. 32 years old. One of the best tackles of the last decade. And we need to win a championship before he retires, that's for sure, because I don't have really any other plan at left tackle. This offensive line is really weird because we've got 2 Hall of Famers on this offensive line. We got Tyron Smith and we got Zach Martin. And then we've got a bunch of I mean, we got a young guy in Tyler Smith, who's a second-year man from Tulsa. He could develop, but he doesn't have development traits, so that's going to be a little bit more difficult. Tyler Biadasz, who is not necessarily bad, but not necessarily really good by any means. He's fine. He's only 25. And then we don't really have a right tackle that I like. We got Terrence Steele, who's 26. Probably not the guy for us at the future of that position. We can certainly find somebody better than that. Tight ends, we've got Ferguson. Jake Ferguson, who is having a really, really good season for the Cowboys in real life. And dating one of the Cavender sisters, twin sisters. You know those people from like TikTok and stuff? I think he's dating one of them. I don't know which one, but I think he's dating one of them. Whatever, that doesn't matter. He is our starting tight end. We got Luke Schoonmaker down there as well, and we might as well just make him the #2 tight end just in case. And then on the defense, there's some good pieces. Obviously, the best piece is Micah Parsons, a freak of nature, one of the best players in the NFL, strictly just not just on defense, in the NFL, one of the best players. Fantastic player. And then there's not a whole lot after that. I mean, we got Trayvon Diggs, but he's like that big play corner. He doesn't really like to cover all the time, but he's gotten better. I'm not gonna harsh on him too much. He's gotten a lot better, but you can see that man coverage is not amazing. He's more of like he's a safety in a corner's body, basically, is how he plays. He plays that big center field spot. He likes the big plays. He likes to ball hawk, but he's a corner. So he's very good though. I'm not gonna hate on him too much. He's very, very good. We got Donovan Wilson, we got Leighton Vander Esch, we got Damone Clark, Malik Hooker, I like, hardly know her, from Ohio State. We got Stephon Gilmore, but he's a little bit older, but Stephon Gilmore's still a solid veteran, still a solid corner. We've got DeMarcus Lawrence, who is a veteran. This team's kind of old. I'll say that. Breaking news. This team's kind of old. We'll have to figure out where we want to go with that. But DeMarcus Lawrence, I feel like DeMarcus Lawrence kind of is on that Von Miller kind of level. Not in terms of like skill-wise, but like what do we do with him in Madden? Because he's kind of expensive and he's going to regress and he's old. Like, we're going to have to figure out what to do with him. We've got the young D tackle Mozzie Smith from Michigan, right? Yeah, Michigan. And he's got a good future with us. He's got a bright future on this team. I will say that. So there's a lot to work on this team, but also they're pretty good because they got really good playbooks and we're probably going to win the Super Bowl pretty soon. I would expect. That's just me thinking because Dallas's playbooks are really, really good. But I'm going to simulate season number 1. We're going to find out what happens. And we are going to see if Dallas's playbooks are truly that overpowered. Because every time I do a rebuild and I'm not the Cowboys, Cowboys are always unbelievably good. They're in the Super Bowl. Dak's always winning MVPs. So let's see if now that I'm actually in control of the Cowboys, if it's the same thing. I will catch you guys at the end of season number 1. We've wrapped up season number 1, and it figures that the moment I take over of the Dallas Cowboys, we go 9-8 and barely make the playoffs. That seems about right, doesn't it? So what happened? Why are we not winning a bunch of games? I have no idea. 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns from Dak is unreal. That's really good. 14 interceptions is a little bit too high, but that's fine. He's a gunslinger. He's throwing the ball around, so he's going to get picked off a bunch. 70% completion percentage, though, is pretty good. And then running the ball, Tony Pollard, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. Okay, I like that, Tony. 1,500 yards and 11 touchdowns for CeeDee Lamb is crazy good. He must have been, obviously, he was the favorite target. I mean, he had 114 catches when the next guy had like 79. That's crazy. We need another receiver, though. We definitely need another receiver to pair alongside CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup's just not a number 2. Neither is Brandon Cooks at this point in his career. We need to get a number 2 receiver. I don't know where that's going to come, but we need to get one. Defensively, we had 104 tackles from both Vander Esch and Donovan Wilson. Okay, so the strong safety Donovan Wilson getting 100-plus tackles. Good for him. Stephon Gilmore had 82 tackles. Jordan Lewis had 82. Lawrence had 75. Tackle for loss leader was Parsons with 18. So did Odigizua. Osa Odigizua had a great season. 59 tackles, 18 for loss, 4.5 sacks. Okay, I see you out here. DeMarcus Lawrence, 16. Sack leader was DeMarcus Lawrence with 16. Okay. I thought Parsons was going to be the leader with 14.5, but it's Lawrence. And then Odigizua had 4.5. A couple guys had 1. 4 picks for Jordan Lewis, 3 for Trayvon Diggs. Wilson and Gilmore had 2. A couple guys had 1. Very interesting. Very, very interesting stats. Dak was 3rd in the league in passing yards. CeeDee Lamb was number 2 in receiving yards. And DeMarcus Lawrence was number 2 in sacks. That's pretty good. And now we play the Carolina Panthers in the playoffs. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Are we going to win? Or are we going to lose? We win 28-17. We take on the Philadelphia Eagles in the divisional round. Okay. I don't think this is going to go very well, but maybe Dallas has got some magic in them. We have any of that playoff magic? We do. 17-14 over the Eagles. We take on the Packers in the NFC Championship. All right, this is not where I expected to be. Are we gonna move on? Are we gonna go to the Super Bowl? Oh my God, we're in the Super Bowl. We went 9-8, and we're going to the Super Bowl to play the Chiefs. Now, I'm not saying we're gonna beat the Chiefs, but just to get here at 9-8 is kind of crazy. The fact that we went 9-8 in the first place, I guess Madden Simulation is making up for it by giving us these 3 wins in the playoffs. And we have made it. We have arrived at the Super Bowl to take on Mahomes and the Chiefs. This is not going to be easy by any means. But let's go see if we can win a Super Bowl in year number 1. I've never done that before in one of these rebuilds, but it is the Cowboys, I understand. But I didn't win one with the Bills, so... And I've rebuilt the Bills in this. Let's go try to win a championship, I guess.
Madden football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Cowboys and the Chiefs. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we don't like to throw around the word dynasty loosely, but for the Chiefs, it applies. I mean, they're looking for their 3rd title now in 5 years.
And with the way this league is configured now, it absolutely applies. I think
we are playing in the Super Bowl in year number 1 of a rebuild, which is something that I've never done, obviously, because it's supposed to be a rebuild. But we're rebuilding the Dallas Cowboys today, and the Dallas Cowboys have good playbooks and just overall good players, and we are actually dominating the Kansas City Chiefs. What is happening here? Oh my God, we are putting up crazy numbers, 37-22 over the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes will not go down without a fight, though. He fights back, and we punt it back to the Chiefs with no time left on the clock, 37 seconds. We are a few plays away, maybe 1 play away because they have no timeouts. 1 play away from winning a Super Bowl in year number 1 of the franchise, of the rebuild. That's crazy. Mahomes throws it away. 3rd and 19, 21 seconds. This is crazy. I understand that it's the Cowboys, the combination of just like they're good players like Dak and Pollard and CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons, all that stuff, and the playbooks. But to win a Super Bowl actually in year number 1 is kind of crazy. At least for me. I've never done that before, and it looks like it'll happen for the first time. That's pretty awesome. And the fact that we went 9-8 and still made the Super Bowl is really crazy. Not just kind of crazy. Trayvon Diggs ball hawks it, and that's ball game, ladies and gentlemen. The Cowboys will win a Super Bowl. It had to be Trayvon Diggs. I kind of dogged him a little bit at the beginning of this video, but he makes up for it right there with a game-clinching pick in the Super Bowl on Patrick Mahomes, no less, is crazy. And we will kneel it and win the Super Bowl in season number 1. Oh, I can't believe it. I guess the rebuild's over. I guess the rebuild is over. We've won the Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys in season number 1. Kind of crazy. Something I've never done in a rebuild, and now I can check that off the list. I guess it had to be the Cowboys, didn't it? It had to be the Cowboys. I mean, the playbooks are just so good, and especially with the original players in it, like Dak Prescott, like CeeDee Lamb, like Micah Parsons, like DeMarcus Lawrence, all those guys that are on the Cowboys team in real life. That combination with the playbooks, we just cruise through the playoffs. We win a bunch of games. I mean, we went 9-8. I didn't think we were going to even make the playoffs, but we snuck in. They gave us a chance. We win the first game, the wild card. I forget who we played, but we played the wild card. Then we go and play the Philadelphia Eagles, which I did not think we were going to win. We beat them. Then we play, who, the Packers, I think is the NFC title game. We beat the Packers, and we win a championship in season number 1. Cowboys fans, how you feeling? You get to see Dak Prescott hold a Lombardi trophy, something that may or may not never happen. I don't know. It might. It might happen. You never know. NFL's weird. But that's the rebuild. That is the rebuild. It's all over. We're done. We don't have to go any further. We've won a championship. That's the goal of a rebuild, is to win a championship. So, yeah, thanks so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. I'm just kidding. I'm back. We're going to go a few more seasons. I got to put my stamp on it. I got to let the people know, the people of Dallas-Fort Worth, that the Juice Man has put his stamp, put his seed all on top of these Dallas Cowboys. So we're gonna go at least two more seasons just so we can I can get my influence into this team. Tony Pollard is the MVP of the Super Bowl. It's your typical players that win all the awards. Mahomes MVP, Rashee Rice and Jalen Carter, the Rookies of the Year. It's no surprise. That's who you usually see win all those awards. Let's take a look at these development upgrades, though, because Dak, I saw in the Super Bowl, had X Factor now, so that's nice. And he does. He has X Factor, and he has Freight Train as his ability. All right, that's not what I want him to have. I want him to probably have Running Gun, and then we can give him Quick Draw. We can give him... He can't get Hot Route Master until he's a 90 Field General. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. We'll give him probably Red Zone Deadeye, maybe Conductor. Can make all Hot Route and blocking just twice as fast. We'll give him Conductor, and then Inside Deadeye, he can keep that. And we'll give him probably Hot Route Master as his last one when he gets to 90 Field General. How far is he away? Can I tell? He's an 84 Field General, so he's still got a little bit of ways of development to get to that. He might not even make it there, but he is an X Factor now, and he's got a championship, so congratulations to him. Any other upgrades? CeeDee Lamb goes to X Factor. We did notice that as well in the Super Bowl game. He'll have probably double me, I would say. Mid, out elite, outside apprentice, short and elite, those are fine, I guess. All right, so any other upgrades? I don't... Oh, Ferguson. Jake Ferguson has star development. Schoonmaker has star. He had it originally. And then on defense, Mozzie Smith revealed to have star. Donovan Wilson's now superstar. I didn't notice that. Adigizua star. Okay. So we got 2 decent D tackles now. How old is Adigizua? 26. He can stay around for a little bit, especially now he has star. Trayvon Diggs was already a superstar, I'm pretty sure. I think Jordan Lewis was already star. Deron Bland is right there as well, but he's only normal. So no other upgrades to development traits except for Adigizua and Donovan Wilson on the defense. Okay. Okay, but we need to put our stamp on things. I need to put my stamp on this Cowboys team. You know what would be funny? If I put my stamp on it and we end up like losing a bunch of games. That'd be hilarious. The fact that we won the Super Bowl with like no changes done. I didn't even make a single trade or anything. And then we go and I try to help the team and we make it worse. All right, so Dorrance Armstrong needs a new contract. We will bring him back mainly because we have the money and he wants to be here. So let's go offer him that. He's coming back perfect. Tyron Smith we want back because we don't have a plan at left tackle other than that, and he wants to be here. So 4-year deal. He will not live out that contract. He will retire before that contract's up, but it doesn't matter. Noah Igbino, is it Igbinoan? Is that how you say that? I think that's how you say it. I don't know for sure, but we'll bring him back. He's coming back. Jordan Lewis definitely coming back as well. Let's offer him that. He's coming back perfect. Brock Hoffman don't want back. Big John Hankins I want back just because I like Big John Hankins, so let's do that. He's coming back perfect. All right, Brock Hoffman can leave. Who cares? Who honestly cares? Let's go to free agency and see if there's anybody here that wants to win a championship. Who is, wait. Retirements, did Tyron Smith just retire? Hold on. We got to figure, I just saw we had a little bit more money in the cap room. Okay. I thought for a second that Tyron Smith just retired after we offered him that contract. That would have been so annoying. Okay, let's go to free agency. What do we got here? Marcus Peters, Deshaun Elliott. We don't really need a corner unless it's going to be a young corner. Quarterback we're not really in the market for, and anybody here that I would want is anybody here that's like young is somebody I don't want. Running backs, not really want any of them. Maybe A.J. Dillon for like a backup role. He's 26. 2-year deal's not going to hurt us. We'll offer him that. Get a backup to Tony Pollard. Receivers, I want a new receiver, but none of these guys are guys that I want, unfortunately. I mean, KJ Hamler's here. We always get KJ Hamler. I'm going to try to stay away from him for this rebuild just because he's just so good, though. He's such a good guy to get, and he's always here, but I don't think that's a good idea to get him. We could get Laviska Shenault. He's got no offers. He's a 78. That'd put him right there with Michael Gallup and stuff, right below Michael Gallup. That's a tough one. We could come back to that. Tight end we're good with. Left tackle, I mean, we're not good with because we could use a backup, but none of these guys I want. Left guard, we're going to stick with Smith or whatever his name was. Center, Kendrick Green, 25. I may throw an offer at Kendrick Green just because he's 25. I don't know if he's going to be, he's probably not going to start right away, but a backup could be nice for him. Right guard, Trey Turner. I don't want... Oh, maybe I do want Trey Turner. Do I want Trey Turner? 75 overall. I mean, we have Zach Martin. We don't need Trey Turner. Right tackle, there's nobody that I want. Absolutely not. Left ends, Matabuke? Probably not. We got Micah Parsons. We got DeMarcus Lawrence. We have 2 good D tackles now with Adigizua. Left outside linebacker. Romeo Aquara is interesting. So is Kalavon Chason. I think is how you say the name. I don't know for sure, but I think that's how you say it. I'll offer him a contract. He's pretty fast. It's only a 2-year deal. It's not going to kill us. All right. We go there. Devin Bush. I always get Devin Bush. He always gets buried in my rosters. And we have Leighton Vander Esch, so we don't necessarily need him in the linebacker. Kalike Hudson. Travis Gibson. Corners. I think the only corner I would take is a rookie corner. So we're not going to go there. Safeties, we're good with now that Deshaun Elliott has superstar. And then the other safety spot, we got Malik Hooker, and I like Malik Hooker. So I think those are going to be the only offers we get. We go for a backup running back, a backup center, and possibly a backup left outside linebacker, depending on how good he is. We get all 3 of them. Not the most amazing free agent signing, or free agent period. Not the most, like, noteworthy. But those guys will be valuable pieces for us because they are nice backups. A.J. Dillon goes with Deuce Vaughn and all that stuff. So if we would have gotten the wide receiver, whoever we were looking at, Laviska Shenault, he would have been our number 4 receiver. That's not bad, but it's also not, like, great. So I don't know. And Chason will actually start over Dante Fowler. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. All right. So that's probably gonna... you know what? Let's go get Shenault. Let's go get Laviska Shenault. I don't think he would have signed with anybody yet. Let's go sign him. He still doesn't even have any offers. I know he doesn't want to be here, but it helps that we have a lot of money. Money makes people do strange things. So we will offer Laviska Shenault, and he will accept that contract. So now he becomes our number 4 receiver. For the time being, that's good enough. And it might end up being good enough for this entire rebuild because we're probably only going to go 2 more seasons since we already won the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens in the draft and all that stuff. I don't really know where I'm going to go in the draft because there was a couple decent players, but that was before I realized we were going to win the Super Bowl, so we were going to have the final pick in the draft. Because I was looking at guys at the top of the draft because when I was at week 11, we weren't like projected to be Super Bowl contenders. So we were going to have probably a top 15 pick. But now that we won the Super Bowl and we have the final pick in the first round, I'm going to have to readjust. I'm going to have to readjust my thinking here. So who do they have us even taking? Mock draft number 5, they have us taking a wide receiver, Eric Gold. I don't like that because Eric Gold doesn't look... he doesn't look bad. He also doesn't look amazing. He's got 4.3 speed. If 4.37 is your 4th fastest receiver in the class, that's kind of crazy. As you can see, I scouted some of these other guys because I thought we were going to be in contention for one of these guys at the top, closer to the top of the board. But it looks like we are not going to be. We'll figure something out. Let me take a look at these receivers. How is Eric Gold your 4th fastest receiver? He ran a 4.3. This guy ran a 4.39. He's got elite speed. Lloyd Riley, excuse me. Who is the fastest receiver in this class? Are all these receivers just like blazing fast? Not Randolph. What about Jalen Stevenson? He didn't even go to the combine or his own pro day. How do you not go to your own pro day? Who is the fastest receiver in this class? I have no idea. Kendall Dudley. Not it. What about Dennis McPherson? He's 6'4". He's a big body. He ran a 4.4. I don't know. Maybe it's the High State guy. It's got to be the High State. Dexter Freeman, he's got to be the fastest. He's not. He's the 9th fastest. I don't know. I have no idea who the fastest receiver in the class is. Is it Spencer Dixon? 6'3" physical receiver. He ran a 4.5. He's not even close. I have no idea, but I'm intrigued by these 2 guys, Eric Gold and Lloyd Riley. Specifically, Lloyd Riley. He's 5'8". He's got elite speed. He ran, what did he run? He ran a 4.39. He's got elite speed, elite acceleration. He ran a 4.33 of his pro day. I'm intrigued by the 2 of them. That is for sure. As for like tackles, is there any tackles in the later rounds that we could possibly snatch up? Maybe a right tackle. We know that Dakota Skinner's a round 1 talent. There could be this guy, Mick Samuel. Mick? 6'4", very good athlete. Injury doesn't matter. Stamina doesn't matter. He looks pretty solid. I'm intrigued by Mick Samuel for sure. What about Lewis Dickinson? Not as good of an athlete, but still a very solid one. And he looks pretty good as well. So there's a couple right tackles in round 1, at the end of round 1, that I like. I don't know if we're going to be in play for them, but they are intriguing. 6'7", not a good athlete for Andrew Hendricks. Not really in the market for him. What about left tackle? I didn't really look at these guys. Sam Burnett? Is that how you would say that? Burnett? I think so. He doesn't look amazing. The right tackles look a little bit better, but we'll keep him on our board just in case. Channing Tucker. Hardly know her. But looks pretty good. Looks okay for a round 1 to 2 guy. Probably nobody else here. What about centers? There's always good centers available. Always good centers. Corey Holcomb. Is any of these guys better than Tyler Biotic? There's a possibility they are. Kerry Hudson. Good athlete. We don't know enough about him. I might use one of my things on him, actually. Carl LeBlanc in the 3rd or 4th round. Also a very good athlete. Okay, we could grab a center. We could certainly come away with a center in this class. That is for sure. Wendell Ulrich. Also good. Man, the centers are very athletic. If we come away with 2 centers, we can move 1 to guard. Like, we'd be perfectly fine. It's Madden. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if they can play guard or not. Aaron Jones, also good athlete. We'll keep an eye on him for straight-up guards. All right, I'm intrigued. I am very, very intrigued. What about the corners? Is there any corners that are like freaks? There's a couple 6'2" guys. This guy's from Ohio State. Got to take a look at him. He's an okay athlete. He ran a 4.39. We'll add him to the board just because he's a Buckeye. There's no like 6'4", but 6'3" is pretty tall for a corner. But I'm not seeing any like crazy builds or anything like that. Okay. We will figure out what we're going to do. I'll get my private workouts going here. I think I'm going to use it on probably those centers, if we're being honest. I might use it on those centers because I was intrigued by those guys. So we've got Lloyd. I might use one on Lloyd Riley because I'm pretty much intrigued by him. But Eric Gold's 6'3". This is tricky. This is very, very tricky. Let's see. Let's use it on Wendell Ulrich, Carl LeBlanc, and Lloyd Riley. Those will be the 3 guys that I use those on. We'll know a little bit more about them. Possibly getting to draft those guys. So we'll advance to the actual draft. And we will see if we need to trade up or not. I don't know if we are going to or not. We'll take a look at the mock draft number 5. Okay, so who is the first guy on our board? There's Mick Samuel. We're not going to be in play for Mick Samuel. He's a top 10 pick. So he's just going to be out the door. Spencer Dixon I don't want. But after that, there's Kerry Hudson at 28. And then we have Eric Gold at 32. You know what? I'm pretty happy. We don't have any of the guys that I was looking at. I mean, Kerry Hudson does look like a really good center. But we're not really in threat of losing any of our guys in the first round. They all look like they're going to go. I didn't even see Lloyd Riley on there, so he's not going to be. How good is Lloyd Riley? We know he's fast. We know he's a burner. He's got elite speed, elite acceleration. I got to come away with Lloyd Riley. He's got to be our 4th receiver. That just has to happen. We're not going to get Mick Samuel. I might just remove him from the favorites board. We're not going to come away with him. We're not going to come away with Sam Brunt or Channing Tucker probably. Or Lewis Dickinson. We're going to get rid of him. We're going to get rid of... I'll keep Channing Tucker on there just in case. Corey Holcomb, probably not going to come away with either. But we'll keep him on the board. One of these centers has got to be our guy. Or maybe both of them. Maybe we grab both of them. Aaron Jones also looks okay. But I think our first round pick has got to be Lloyd Riley. I think that's going to be our first round pick, because then we could, I mean, I guess we'll see what one of these, if one of these centers is available. But I think Lloyd Riley's going to be our guy. Channing Tucker's going to go the pick before us. Hudson will go before us. But everybody else is not going to go. So we could come away with Holcomb or Lloyd Riley. We could do either one. And I'm pretty sure I used the staff points to upgrade my player personnel stuff for drafting. So yeah, we have all that stuff except for the trade percentage on the discounts. But we have the reduce the cost of trading up. We have the increase the value. We have the valued players, the guaranteed packages, all that stuff. I used it all during the season. So we have all that stuff if we want to make up a trade into the second round. Trading to the second round is always pretty tough, though. Let's start drafting and see where the draft lays out. First pick is Washington. They will come away with Dennis Malone. Congratulations, you get your guy. There goes Sam Burnett, Joe Morrow, Luke Weaver, Dakota Skinner, Byron Roundtree. Let's skip to our pick. So we know that Hudson goes. We know that Channing Tucker goes. That's okay, because we still got all our guys. We got Lloyd Riley. We got Corey Holcomb. I think I'm going to take Lloyd Riley here. Even though Corey Holcomb looks pretty good, the other centers look a little bit better, actually. And they're later down the board. So it's not going to be the end of the world if we can't get Corey Holcomb. But Lloyd Riley, I am going to grab here because he just looks so good with that speed. He has hidden development, 96 speed, 94 change direction, 94 acceleration. Lloyd Riley, being 5'8", is a monster. He's solidified himself as our fourth receiver, depending on what his overall is. And now I might trade into the second round, not to get Corey Holcomb, but to get that guard that we were looking at. Not John Malone. There goes Eric Gold, the guy that we were projected to get in the first round. I might trade into the second round to get Aaron Jones. He could be the guy for us because he looks pretty good. That could be our guy. Or we trade, I mean, Corey Holcomb's 6'5", 315. He could play right tackle. I might trade into the first round to get him, or the second round to get him. What is the difficulty in getting this pick here? What is the difficulty? It's the Saints. So we will go talk to New Orleans. Nolans, they don't have a pick until the 5th round after this. They want a bunch of firsts or Leighton Vander Esch and Deron Bland. I'm not going to give you any of that, but I can be persuaded to give you Trey Lance. I could give him A.J. Dillon that I just got, mainly because I forgot about Deuce Vaughn. They don't like that. Okay, I understand. I can give you Trey Lance. You need a quarterback. He could be your future. He's not gonna be the future. Let's see. What else can I give them? We just got our new wide receiver, so I could give them Jalen Tolbert. We don't need him. And I could give them, they need a middle linebacker. I could give them Rashaan Evans. That's something I can do. Okay, then it's going to have to be draft picks because we can't trade more than 3 players. So I can go down here to 2026, give them a 3rd round pick and call it a day. Or not, okay? How about a 2026 2nd round pick? How's that? Oh, that's very close, very close. I'll give them one of my 7s from this year. And that is declined. Okay, I guess they didn't like that. So I'll give them a 2025 7th round pick, and they will say yes. Say yes. There it is. So A.J. Dillon, Tolbert, and Evans, plus a 2nd and 2 7s gets us this pick in the 2nd round. Now, maybe I could have waited a little bit longer, but I'm going to grab myself Holcomb. He is going to be our right tackle at 6'5", 315. He's got good movement. He's going to be our right tackle. We're going to change him there. 6'5", 315 is a right tackle. So we're going to make him that, and it's going to be pretty good. He's going to probably be better than what we have already. So we have 2 hidden development players in this draft. I am a drafting god if you forgot. So, no surprise there. Maybe we don't even have to trade up to get the guard because he could just fall to us. There's a possibility that happens. But if he doesn't, we'll have to take one of the centers because we don't have another pick until I think the 4th round? I don't think we have a 3rd round pick. Or maybe we have a 3rd round pick but not a 4th round pick. I don't remember exactly. Next user pick. Okay, we have a 3rd round. We must not have a 4th round pick then. But let's use this second round pick. And Aaron Jones is still on the board, and so are both the centers. I'm gonna grab Aaron Jones here to be a guard. He is hidden development as well. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm working my magic, getting some offensive line help. We have pick 32 in the 3rd round. I guess if that corner's on the board, I could theoretically take him. I don't know if he's going to be. Oh, wow. None of them are on the board. We didn't get any of the guys that I was liking. Okay. That's kind of crazy. I thought that they would for sure be there. At least one of the centers. Okay. That's okay. We got the guys that I wanted, really. We got the guys that I wanted. Was there any other players that I like, or are we just going to simulate out of this draft? There might be some players at linebacker that could be fast. 4.67 speed. He's probably normal development. Dalvin Ratliff. Looks better than the other guy, but not a guy I'm intrigued by. What about Enrique Sierra? Not good. Carl Carr? First off, legendary name. I just wish he was as good enough of a player as his name is. Right outside linebacker, who's this guy? Antonio Gates? Antonio Gates? He's been reincarnated? I might have to take him just because of that. Antonio Gates has been reincarnated as a right outside linebacker. Ooh, Ben Young. Hold on, I might need to get both of these guys. I might need to get both of them. But is there a corner, before I do that, is there a corner that is better than the guys that I am thinking about? I mean, those guys are projected day 3, so we can come away with both of them. Silas Johnston? Not really. Not really a safety. I'm gonna get both of these linebackers. We're gonna get Ben Young first because he's got the elite speed. He's probably gonna be normal development. He is, but he's got 86 speed, 90 acceleration. At linebacker is kind of crazy. So we're gonna grab him. We're gonna simulate to the 4th round, and we're gonna grab Antonio Gates. Why not? Why not grab Antonio Gates? That is a crazy name, and we are going to get him. Antonio Gates is here. He looks better than the other guy, to be fair. He has the development trait. Antonio, of course he does. His name is Antonio Gates. Of course he's got the development trait. I only took the other guy before him because he had the elite speed. And that is going to be our draft. We're going to let the CPU handle the 7th round pick that we have. I'd say we came away with a really good draft. We got 2 offensive linemen that are going to really help us out. We got a receiver who is unbelievably fast. And then we got 2 linebackers that are good. So I like that draft a lot. I really, really do. 75 for Lloyd Riley with that 96 speed, 94 excel is crazy. Corey Holcomb's a 76. Aaron Jones is a 75. Young is a 68. Gates is a 69. Nice. And they took a receiver 68 overall. That's fine. Does he have a development trait? He does not. So he's basically useless. But we got what, 5 players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 players that I really do like. I think we came away with some good players in this class. How good was the class in general? It didn't seem like it was going to be that good. 79 is your best player. It's not going to be fantastic. It's not a bad class. I've seen worse, obviously, but it's not a great class. But that's okay. I think we came away with some really good players in it, helping the team in a lot of different ways. And we've already won a championship, so even if we don't win a championship the rest of these 2 years, it doesn't matter because we've already won one. So let's do this, adjust the lineup. Lloyd Riley will go right in there, and he might even jump people pretty soon. Let's see. I know I said I was going to have Holcomb be our right tackle. Let me just move him to right tackle. What does he go up to? Or down to, I guess. He's a 76 right now. Does he move at all? Or does he go lower? If he stays at right, if he goes to right tackle, he is a 76. Perfect. So he's probably honestly going to be Terrence Steele's replacement at some point. And we got Jones, who could honestly be the center. He could be a center, too. So we can figure some stuff out. Or Holcomb could be the left tackle and be the replacement for Tyron Smith. There's a possibility there, too. And then on the defense, we got Antonio Gates, who is going to be down in the lineup a little bit. That's what the team's looking like for Season 2. We're going to simulate to the end of the season and hopefully win another Super Bowl. I mean, that's the goal, obviously. We just won one. So let's go see if we can go back-to-back, I guess. I didn't think we were going to win one in year 1, but here we are. So let's go see if we can go back-to-back. We finished Season 2. We went 12-5, so a lot better than 9-8, obviously. Still didn't win the division. Eagles are just that much better this year. They went 14-3, so we got a little bit of a competition with them. But going 12-5 is still very, very nice. It lets me know that I didn't make the wrong decisions in bringing in some of those draft picks or free agents. I still, I didn't affect the team too much. At least I didn't affect it in a negative way. Dak Prescott, 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns, 9 picks is another fantastic season from Dak. 71% completion percentage as well is also very, very good. Tony Pollard, not 1,000 yards, but very close. 954 with 13 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns. Michael Gallup, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Brandon Cooks was 3 yards. You couldn't get him a 3-yard slant route to get him 1,000 yards. That's kind of disrespectful right there. 6 touchdowns as well. Defensively, Leighton Vander Esch led the team in tackles, 101, 95 for Trayvon Diggs, 93 for Gilmore, 84 for Curse. Tackle for loss leader was Parsons with 19, Lawrence with 18, 13 for Digazua. I wonder if he'd go up to superstar. That'd be awesome. He'd kind of be like the Atiba Rubin of this rebuild. 19.5 sacks for Micah Parsons is crazy. That could be Defensive Player of the Year numbers right there. 6.5 for Lawrence and a Digazua. Mozzie Smith had 2.5. Pick leader was Vander Esch and Hooker with 4, so I'm glad we didn't move on from Malik Hooker. Hardly know her. Trayvon Diggs had 3. A couple guys had 1. All right. So I'd say that's pretty good numbers from the boys in Season 2. But now we got to get through the Atlanta Falcons, which should be fairly easy. They're the Falcons. They don't play well in the playoffs, and we beat them 35-21. We now move to the NFC divisional round against the Niners, who are always tough. Always tough. I would assume if we win this game, we go on to play the Eagles, but they could get upset by Tommy Cutlets, I guess. I think it's Daniel Jones who's starting for the Giants. At least I don't know. We're 2 seasons in. It could be a new quarterback. The Browns got upset by the Bills as the 2 seed, so they're eliminated 31-7. That's kind of crazy. I guess let's go beat the Niners. I mean, we've beaten teams before that we shouldn't have, so why can't we beat the Niners this season? Let's go see if we can do it. Cowboys, Niners, from Levi Stadium. Come on, Cowboys. We did it just barely, but we did it. Oh my God, the Giants upset the Eagles. Oh my God. That is not what I expected whatsoever. I did not expect the Giants to upset the Eagles. That's crazy. 24-21. They won on a game-winning field goal. I guess, I would assume. The Dolphins also lost to the Bills. The Bills are on a miracle run. They beat the 2 seed and the 1 seed. That's kind of crazy. So it's Titans and Bills, and it's us versus the Giants in the NFC and AFC title games. We got to get back to this. It's the Giants. We got to get back to the Super Bowl. I mean, who am I kidding? If we lose this game, I might just end the video. There's no way, absolutely no way we can lose this game. Thank you. Thank you. And it's the Bills. 28-13, we beat the Giants. The Bills are the 7 seed, and they have made it all the way to the Super Bowl. Not only beating the 2-seeded Browns, but beating the 1-seeded Dolphins. I mean, they've beaten the best teams in the playoffs. They didn't get a chance to play the Chiefs, who were the 3 seed, because whoever took them out, the Titans. The Titans beat the Chiefs in the divisional round, but the 10-7 Buffalo Bills, who were the final team to get in, have made it to the Super Bowl. This is eerily similar to those 90s Bills-Cowboys Super Bowls that the Bills went 0-4 in. At least they played, I don't know if they played the Cowboys all 4 times, but they played the Cowboys at least twice, and they lost to them in those games. Let's go make it 0-5.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Bills and the reigning Super Bowl champs, and it's coming up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Buffalo Bills taking on the NFC champions, the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3.
We have made it to our second Super Bowl in the rebuild, and it's just year number 2. I can't believe that we are here. We are keeping pace of the Bills, 13-10, 20-10. We must have had some sort of turnover or something. 20-17, 27-17. This is not looking good for the boys. We might be losing the Super Bowl. We've made it back. It's not like we need to win this, but obviously I would like to win it for obvious reasons, because it's the Super Bowl. That's going to be Brandon Cooks. He's still got the speed. He gets the first down. I want to see, is our rookie out there? I don't think he is. I don't see him out there, but they're pressing up on Michael or on CeeDee Lamb. You don't want to do that. Not to CD. CD's nuts. Oh, I was going to CD's nuts all on his face. Okay, I probably should have not thrown that and went to somebody that was more open, but I had to do it. You know I had to do it. So let's see if we can find an actual open receiver this time. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? I got to get that ball away. It's going to be Michael Gallup. He held on for the catch. Oh, my God. That never happens. He never holds on to the ball there. It's almost always a drop, but that's okay because he caught it this time. Oh, I wanted to go quickly there, but I didn't. I hate my life. That's going to be a pick 6 by Matt Milano. Yep. That's the Super Bowl. That is the Super Bowl. Yep. The Bills, the 7-seed Bills are they're the miracle team this year. I don't know what else to say. They are the miracle team, and the Buffalo Bills have won the Super Bowl in year number 2. From 7-seed to world champions. You gotta say congratulations to the Buffalo Bills, man. I don't know what else there is. That's tough. That's tough. They were never going to be denied. They were the better team. Maybe they were a false 7-seed. I don't know. They cooked us, that's for sure. I think I'm going to go one more season in this rebuild. We will see if we can win a championship again, a second championship in 3 seasons. Hopefully, Tyron Smith doesn't retire, but we'll take a look, see if he did. I hope that he didn't. Did he retire? Cowboys. Gilmore and Tyron Smith both retire. So we lose 2 starters here in year number 3, or headed into year number 3. That's kind of tough. I hate that a little bit. I hate that. So we got Joe Burrow winning MVP of the league. We got Matt Milano winning MVP of the Super Bowl because he had the pick 6. Saquon Barkley, Aaron Donald. Eric Gold, actually Offensive Rookie of the Year, the guy that we were projected to draft. He's the wide receiver. The 49ers ended up taking him, and he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, so congratulations to him. Maybe we should have taken him. I'm still happy with our guy, Lloyd Riley, whatever the heck his name is. I think that's his name. I'm happy with him. All right, so we got negotiations, but I want to see, do we have any upgrades? Any upgrades? We've got no left tackle. I'm going to make that Corey Holcomb. He's going to be our new left tackle because Terrence Steele's a solid enough right tackle. So we are going to make Corey Holcomb our new left tackle. We'll go and adjust the lineup right there. Perfect. All right, so everybody's looking good on offense. No upgrades to anybody. Lloyd Riley had star development. That's fine. What about on defense? We have Chason has star development now. Okay. Malik Hooker has star development. That's nice to see. We probably need to get one more corner in the draft. I don't know how that's going to happen, but we probably need to get one at some point. But other than that, the team is pretty good. Let's see the negotiations. Who do we got? We got Tyler Smith on an option that we'll accept. DeMarcus Lawrence. I do want DeMarcus Lawrence back, and he wants to be here too, so we don't have to worry about that. He's coming back. Malik Jefferson, Peyton Hendershot. I don't want any of these guys back. They can all walk. All right. Let's go to free agency. See if we can bring in anybody to go all in on one final season. One final championship run. See if we can win a second Super Bowl. Who's here? Anybody good? Chidobe Awuzie we could bring back. That could be fun. Nate Hobbs is here as well. Oh, I might bring in 2 corners. I might get a little frisky. I think I'm going to do that. Chidobe Awuzie, 3-year deal. He wants to be in Dallas. We're going to offer him that. And I'm also going to offer Nate Hobbs. He's 26. Might as well lock him up for a good amount of time. He should accept that as well, hopefully. Yep, we're both the top offer. We don't need a quarterback. We don't need a running back. We don't need... Actually, we probably could use a receiver, but I think we're fine. Then tight end, we're good. We're good on all that. Center, we could just get David Andrews for 1 season, but I'm fine with Biotish. Left end, we're good. D-tackle, we're good. Right end, we're good. All the outside linebackers and just linebackers in general we're good with now because Chason has star development. And then the 2 corners, hopefully we can bring in. We're good on safeties. I think that's all we need to bring in. Just the two corners, Hobbs and Awuzie. We get them both. I think the team is that much better now. I mean, we lose Stephon Gilmore, which does hurt a little bit. But bringing in Awuzie and Hobbs, I feel like is going to help this team out a lot. So we will generate the best lineup. It's now Trayvon Diggs, Awuzie, Hobbs, Bland, and Lewis. That's perfect. The defense is looking really good now. I'm fine with the defense now. And then on offense, I could bring in a backup left tackle. That's probably what I'll do. But that's about it. I don't think we need to bring in anything else. So I'm going to go sign a left tackle, and then we will get right to the draft. Let's go sign some left tackle. I don't know who it's going to be. Available left tackles. It doesn't really need to be anybody crazy. It can just be this guy because he's younger. Dan Moore. He wants to be here. 2-year deal. He can be our backup left tackle. And he has signed with us. Perfect. So that's just an extra body. I know injuries don't matter because the injuries are off, but just to give a little bit of depth for depth purposes alone. And I don't know if I'm going to draft a left tackle anyway in this draft. We are going to be down in the draft because we were in the Super Bowl, so we're going to have pick 31. I don't know where that's going to leave us in terms of who's going to be on the board. I don't even know who I'm thinking. I haven't really taken a look at this class too in depth. All I did was load it in, really, and then we simulated. So I have no idea who's going to be good, who's going to be a sneaky draft pick. Is there going to be... There's probably not... At this point, since we're only going to go 1 more season, it really doesn't matter because these guys are not going to impact the team unless he's just like a generational player, and we're really not going to be in the market for a generational player unless we go for Tyron Macklin. That could be fun. We might just go all out for him. Or we go all out for Keith Mentor, who looks really good as a corner. He's 6'2" as well. There's a couple really good players at the top of this board. I might try to just go all out for that, because I think that might be pretty fun. Who do they have us taking? They have us taking a free safety. They have us taking a free safety. I might just go out for one of these top players, just because it's not going to really matter too much. Let's do private workouts. Let's find out how good they are. Are they truly worth the draft picks? We got to find out. Are they truly, truly worth the draft picks? There's a couple really good tackles in this class, and there's a good guard as well. All right, so we'll do the corner and the receiver. We will find out if they are true top 5 talents. Let's move on. If one of them is a top 5 talent, I may go for him. If both of them are top 5 talent, that's going to make it a little bit more difficult for me to choose. Prospects, top 5, top 5. You got to be kidding me. Why are they both top 5? I really want the receiver. He's 6'6", Tyron Macklin. I really want him. We don't necessarily need the corner because we just brought in 2 corners in free agency. So corner's not really thing we need, and we have to trade up to the number 1 pick if we want to get him. The Raiders have the number 1 overall pick. The Rams have the 3rd pick. Is this even feasible to trade up to number 1 from the Raiders to get this receiver? Is it even possible? Let's go talk to the Vegas Raiders. Oh, this is going to be so difficult. Do they even have a package they want? CeeDee Lamb, Zach Martin, Trayvon Diggs. Yeah, you're not going to get any of those guys. So let's give them... I wonder if I can get away with not giving up my first-round pick this year. That's going to be too tough, though, I would think. Let's go with this package right here. That's not even close. So because I was trying to maybe play it out so we could get like 2 first-round picks. We could get the Rams pick as well. Oh, wow. They really don't want to give up this first-round pick. Even our own pick this year doesn't get it. 3 first-round picks to get the number 1 player in the draft is not even in the orange or yellow. I will give you everything I own. How about that? I mean, are you kidding me? And this is with the staff points all on the like the boosts on the upgrade, like on the you get discounts and all that stuff. This is still unbelievably difficult. I would have to give up my 3rd round pick this year as well, I think. I'd have to give up my 2nd round pick this year and my 3rd round pick this year, or maybe my 3rd round pick in 2027. So 3 firsts, 2 seconds, and a 3rd rounder doesn't even, oh my God, it's not even in the green. It's impossible. That's all I have. I could give them a player, but I don't want to do that. So that is all I have for the number 1 player in the class. That's crazy that the Raiders are that high on this guy that they won't even give me that. We can talk to the Rams about the corner. That's a possibility. Maybe they're going to be a little bit more reasonable. So let's go give them 26 and then a 3rd rounder in 27. What do they say to that? See, they're much more reasonable. They're much more willing to have conversations. The Raiders just being stingy. Raiders just being freaking stingy. I'll give you all of the picks that I have for you to accept this trade declined. I did not think that was going to be declined, if we're being totally honest. 4th round pick this year gets it done. So 2 first round picks, a 2nd, a 3rd, and 2 4s gets us pick number 3. I might be able to now trade up pick number 3 to get pick number 1. There is a possibility in that. Remember, this is the final season, so it's not like we need these draft picks. We don't need these draft picks whatsoever. So I might be able to trade pick number 3 plus our 2027 first to get this 1st overall pick. Because we don't need the corner, we need the receiver more than anything. Come on, Vegas. You're only moving down to pick 3. It's not that far. It's in the red. This is insane value for this 1st round pick. I will give you everything that I own in my body to get this 1st round pick, this 1st overall pick. It's in the green. You've got to be joking me. I will give you every draft pick I have. It still didn't work. I don't know what else I could do. I don't know what else I can do. I can't give them any more stuff. I could trade up to pick number 2, but I don't even know if they would accept it after that. The Raiders are just steadfast in the fact that they are not getting... This wide receiver must be, like, generational if they are not willing to trade down 2 spots and miss out on him. He goes number 1. We'll have to see just how good he is. I'll take the corner. Keith Mentor, welcome to the squad. 93 speed, 93 acceleration. I mean, we got one of the 2 guys that I wanted, but that wide receiver must be absolutely insane if they were not willing to give up that much, or just to move down 2 spots. It's not like I was asking them to move down to pick 32 like I originally was. I was asking them to move down like 1 spot. They were going to go down from 1 to 3. So it's not that, it wasn't that crazy of an ask. And yet they said absolutely not. Absolutely not. Ooh, Justin Westbrook. I'll have to keep an eye on you. Keep an eye on you. There doesn't look like there's anybody that's super amazing. What about this guy? Deontay Canty is not fantastic. Probably not a 2nd round pick. Maybe a 3rd round pick, I could consider it, but probably not a 2nd round pick. There's a center on the board, Lane Franklin, I like. And I might just grab him. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, let's just grab the center. Lane Franklin, welcome to the team. Hidden development, 86 strength. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's go to the 3rd round. And I'll have to remember, what was that guy's name? He was a linebacker. I forget what his name was, though. Hopefully he's still on the board. Was he right outside linebacker? Oh, no, he might have been gone. I think he was a right outside linebacker. Oh, no, he looked so good. Yeah, I think he's gone. Oh, that sucks. I was going to grab him. He looked really good, too. He had the speed and everything. Epstein, yikes. I don't really even know what else to get in this draft. I think I'm just going to let the CPU handle it. I don't know where to go with the class. I just want to know how good that receiver is. How good was he? He had to have been unreal if the Raiders weren't willing to give up that pick for all the stuff I was giving him. I was giving him like multiple first-round picks. They were only moving down from 1 to 3. He has to be like 84 overall or something. He has to be unreal. So we got an 80 overall in Keith Mentor, 71 in Franklin. How good was this player? He has to be amazing. He's an 81. He's an 81 overall. He is 23. So it's not like he's 20, 21 or 22. He is 23 years old. What's his trait? He has X factor. Oh! The Raiders got a good one, that's for sure. The Raiders got a good one. I wanted you so bad, Tyron Macklin. Oh, God, I wanted you so bad. 6'6". He's got great abilities. He's got good speed, good acceleration. He's not the best route runner, but he's good enough. I mean, he's 6'6". He's going to be good. And he's got X factor right off the bat. Oh, that's brutal. I wanted you so bad. I couldn't do it. I couldn't physically give any more, except for I could have given them a player. But I'm trying to win another Super Bowl. I'm not trying to give another player. I guess I could have given, like, Macklin or something. Or Macklin. What am I saying? Jeremy Macklin? This isn't 2010. I could have given them Gallup is what I wanted to say. But it is what it is. We lose out on him. We come away with some good players, though. It's not like we didn't come away with anybody good. Offensive line's still looking pretty solid, even though we lost. Tyron Smith kind of sucks. It's only one more season, so we will have to wait and see. Donovan Wilson's going to start over Jerome Kearse. Hooker. We've got... Actually, Mentor's an 82 overall safety. That's pretty crazy. He's going to be pretty featured pretty heavily. We got decent offense or defense linebacking core. We got good linemen. I think we can make another run to the Super Bowl. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to simulate to the end of the final season, Season 3, and we will see where we finish for the final year. We have made it to the end of the season, and we were phenomenal. 13-4. Not as good as the Eagles are, but are you ever going to be as good as the Eagles are in simulation? The Eagles are, it's like the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Cowboys when we're not the Cowboys. There's just certain teams in Madden simulation, maybe because of the playbooks or I don't know what it is, but there's just certain teams that always are like the 1 seed, almost undefeated, 1 loss, 2 loss, teams like that. And the Eagles are one of those teams, so we do have to go up against them. But we did have a good season nonetheless. 13-4. And Dak, oh my God. Dak Prescott killed it. 4,200 yards, 41 touchdowns to just 9 interceptions with the 68% completion percentage. That is unreal production from Dakota Prescott. Absolutely unbelievable. Tony Pollard, 1,100 yards and 17 touchdowns. That's arguably just as good as what Dak did. I mean, maybe a little bit less than what Dak did, but still, it's a very good season. CD and Brandon Cooks both had 1,000 yards. CD had 1,300 with 13 touchdowns. Cooks had 1,100 with 12 touchdowns. Is my receiver not getting any usage? Come on, man. How's he supposed to get out there if he's not getting any usage? What are we talking about here? All right, whatever. Whatever. Van Der Esch had 105 tackles. He led the team. Donovan Wilson, 91. 88 for Awuzie, so good to see him back here. Parsons had 82. And I just noticed 22.5 sacks. Hello, Defensive Player of the Year. Diggs had 76. DeMarcus Lawrence had 71. 19 tackles for loss and 18.5. So we were getting crazy production on the defensive line. Absolutely insane. Parsons led the team with 28 tackles for loss. Lawrence had 19. Adigizua had 13. Van Der Esch had 11. 10 for Mozzie Smith. And then obviously, you know, the two top leaders in the sacks. Adigizua had 5.5. Van Der Esch had 1.5. Damone Clark had 1.5. Pick leader, pick, was Van Der Esch with 5. Awuzie had 3. 2 for Hobbs and 2 for Diggs. 1 for a couple other guys. That is the stats for the final season. Now, are we going to go and win a Super Bowl in the final season? It's possible. We got to get through the wild card first with the Carolina Panthers. Can we beat them? Yes, we do. We beat them pretty heavily. 42-21. Van Der Esch is now at 85 overall. We take on the San Fran 49ers. Eagles and Falcons. Us and the Niners. Chiefs, Patriots. Ravens, Dolphins. That is your playoffs. Technically, the Niners were the 3 seed, but that's only because they weren't in the same division with the Eagles. If we weren't in the same division with the Eagles, we would have been the 2 seed. But just because we couldn't win the division, we had to be the 5 seed. So that kind of sucks for us because that means we have to go on the road throughout the entirety of the playoffs because I'm guessing the Eagles aren't going to lose to the Falcons. But we have to go on the road the entirety of the playoffs, which kind of sucks. But I think we can get it done. We're a good enough team. We've made 2 Super Bowl appearances. We've won 1 of them. Let's go see if we can get to another one. Cowboys and Niners, it's a rivalry as old as time. Is it going to be renewed here? Are we going to win? I have no idea. Come on, boys. Come on, come on, come on. We're putting up 40+ in both of these playoff games. We are a high-powered offense, and Dak Prescott is leading us there. The Eagles do beat the Falcons. That's what I expected. I didn't think we were going to get that lucky to not have to play the Philadelphia Eagles here. It's a rivalry game. It's the NFC title. This is going to be very tough. Very, very tough. Chiefs beat the Patriots. Ravens lose to the Dolphins. We put up 42 against the Panthers, held them to 21 points. We put up 45 against the Niners, held them to 21 points. Do I think we can put up 40+ against the Eagles? I highly doubt it, but you never know. It's Madden. Anything can happen, really. This is a huge game. Eagles, Cowboys, come on. Come on, give me it, please. 3 straight Super Bowls. Oh my God, just barely. Just barely, by the skin of our teeth, we get through the NFC Championship. I don't know how we did it, by the way. Oh my God, that's crazy. We've beaten the Eagles. We ruined their championship aspirations, and we are now taking on the Dolphins, who did us a favor, by the way, beating the Kansas City Chiefs, which is something I didn't think was going to happen whatsoever. Chiefs barely ever lose. They were the 1 seed. They lose by a touchdown. We beat the Eagles barely. It is a 4 versus 5 in the Super Bowl. What a crazy, crazy thing to see there. 4 versus 5. All the top seeds get knocked out. Technically, we are a fake 5 seed. We should be like the 2 seed. But again, because we were in the same division with the Eagles, who won the division and were the number 1 seed, we unfortunately had to be the 5 seed because we couldn't be any of the other 4 seeds or the other 3 seeds because those are all division winners. So that's just how the playoffs work. We're not technically the 5 seed. We're technically the 2 seed, I would have to say. But it's time. It's Dolphins, Cowboys. We are 1-1 in Super Bowls in this rebuild. Let's go see if we can make it 2-1.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the reigning NFC champs and the Dolphins. Coming up next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Miami Dolphins taking on the NFC champions, the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top player.
The final Super Bowl of the video. We are down 7. No, we're not down anymore. We are up 21-10. It's going faster than I can even narrate and commentate for you guys. 24-20. These offenses are high-powered and ready to put up points. 27-20, 30-20. What has just happened? We must have got a turnover somewhere. 3rd and 7. Oh, we've wasted all the timeouts. It's over. It's over, boys. We're going to win 2 out of 3 Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, you can chalk this up to the Dallas Cowboy playbook is simply one of the best playbooks in Madden 24. That is a very good possibility. But we also added some good pieces. We brought in some good players. We do keep mainly the entire Dallas Cowboy roster, which is something I wanted to do because obviously the Cowboys are very, very good. They have a lot of good players. We just needed to fill some holes, and we did that. We filled some holes. That's what she said. We filled some holes. We got some people. We got some good offensive linemen, that's for sure. We did lose Tyron Smith, but we had a nice backup, a nice replacement in Holcomb. Was it Corey Holcomb? I forget his name. I always want to say Cole Holcomb because that's the dude, the linebacker. But I think it was Corey Holcomb is what his name was. That's 3rd and inches. Oh, come on, Gallup. Get that ball across the 1st down marker. You know where you're at. But we are going to win our 2nd Super. Arguably, we should have won all 3. But Buffalo, they were just on a different level in that Super Bowl last season. They were the 7 seed. It was their destiny. We were never going to get in their way. They were just the better team for some reason. It's almost like this year where I feel like the Bills were not a real 7 seed. They snuck into the playoffs, but I feel like they were not a real 7 seed. And just like us this year, how we are not a real 5 seed. We are the 2 seed in the playoffs. We just happen to be in the same division with the 1 seed, so we couldn't be the 2 seed. That's not how the playoffs work. Now, maybe that's an argument for the NFL to change the playoff rankings or to change the playoff scaling so that you can have just the best teams be the best seeds. That's a possibility, and not have divisions be guaranteed a home playoff game. That's a conversation, but it's not how it is, and we still get the Super Bowl done anyway. Cowboys beat the Dolphins with a Tony Pollard touchdown to put the icing on the cake. 2 out of 3 is good enough for me. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Dak Prescott's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Jerry Jones gets a couple more. Micah Parsons got himself a couple rings now. And like I said, we didn't really change this roster much. We added a new left tackle who was technically a center, but he's 6'5", and he should be a tackle anyway. We added maybe, I don't know, 1 extra corner that we draft. We didn't really change that much. We just got better development. We added a couple people on defense, I think, but Mozzie Smith was a solid D tackle. We got bailed out by Adigazua going up to star development. That was really useful. That was really helpful. Him going up to star development, because if he didn't go up there, then we would have had to probably get another D tackle alongside Mozzie Smith, and that would have been a little bit more tricky. Another thing to think about. But luckily, we didn't have to do that. We had Adigazua go up to star, and he was solid enough. We did bring in Chase on. That was one addition we brought in. I didn't think that was going to end up being anything, but he gets star development, and he ends up being a solid player for us for, what, 2 seasons we brought him in for? So I'd say that's a big-time W. We will see who wins all the awards. It is Micah Parsons, MVP of the Super Bowl, Mahomes, MVP of the league. We had Jonathan Taylor and Micah Parsons win offensive and defensive players of the year. Offensive defensive players of the year. Parsons we knew was going to win it. He had too many sacks, and Madden favors the sack stat and the pick stat for Defensive Player of the Year. Jimmy Zimmerman, tight end for the Panthers, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, and linebacker Greg Rhodes of the Texans wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. So those are your awards. I should go into the recap and show you the past stuff. So 2023, we beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Tony Pollard got the MVP. Then we get Matt Milano losing to Buffalo, kind of upsetting. We should have won that game, but Buffalo was just, they were on a different level. And then we go back and we beat the Dolphins in the Super Bowl. At least we got different teams every time. We go and we beat the Dolphins for our 2nd out of 3 Super Bowls, and we are going to end the video there. Pretty good. Pretty darn delicious, if you ask me. And I still want to know where my 2020 first round pick, not my 2020, where did that, how'd that Raiders guy do? How'd that Raiders receiver do? He's an 86. Oh my God, this dude is unbelievable. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he already had X Factor. We checked it. This dude's unbelievable. Oh my God. He is so talented. I so badly wanted to get him. The Raiders were just not budging. They were simply not budging on anything. You saw, I was giving them whatever they wanted. I didn't have a ton of assets, but I was giving them whatever I could, and they just weren't taking it. CeeDee Lamb's an X Factor. I feel like that's new. No, I think he was X Factor last season, or during this season. I don't remember. Brandon Cooks is a superstar. That's awesome. It's probably, if we were going to go another season, Lloyd Riley would probably be the number 4 receiver now. Offensive line's looking really good. We drafted this man right here, Corey Holcomb. 6'5", 315 as a center. We moved him to tackle. He was supposed to be the backup to Terrence Steele, but then Tyron Smith retired, and he took over for him, and he was a good player, and he's going to continue to be a good player. He's a very solid pickup. Very good draft pick. I'm glad we traded back into the second round to get him. And then we took Lloyd Riley, purely based on his speed. He's 5'8", 96 speed, 95 excel, 87 catching. He's not the best route runner, but you got turn and burn speed. You don't need to be a good route runner. You just got to go up and go, boom, go get the ball. And he's going to come down with it most of the time because he got 86 spec catch. So he's a fantastic receiver. I'm glad we drafted him. He didn't play much, but I'm glad we drafted him. But look at this offense. We didn't change much. We added one new tackle. We added a backup guard in Aaron Jones, who is a solid player and is going to be a good starter for us at some point once Zach Martin retires. But we didn't change this offense very much. We added Laviska Shenault, who didn't really do much. And then on defense, we brought in Chason. We had Clark and we had Van Der Esch. I mean, we got Antonio Gates, which was awesome because he's the name alone, but he didn't play much at all. He is still a good player. He's going to continue to get better. He's still a very good player. But we just didn't change this team. You didn't need to change this, and that's what I told you going in. I didn't need to change this team too much. We got DeMarcus Lawrence up to a superstar development. Mozzie Smith and Adigazua are good. We got Micah Parsons, obviously, who's a stud. Didn't have to worry about him at all. And then we got Donovan Wilson, who developed into a good strong safety. Malik Hooker we developed, and he's very good. Trayvon Diggs is a stud. We brought Chidobe Awuzie back to Dallas, and then we got this guy, Keith Mentor, with a top pick, with a 3rd pick, I think, but we didn't even need him. I wanted that receiver. I mean, this guy's a stud. He's unbelievably good, but I wanted the receiver, and we couldn't get him, so we had to settle for that guy. I say settle. We still got one of the best corners in recent history in my rebuilds, but I wanted that receiver so badly. I really did. But this team, look at this team. You wouldn't even notice that I changed much. If you took a screenshot of this team, you wouldn't even know that I changed much, except for Chason and Awuzie. And Nate Hobbs, you might notice down there. But this team is basically the same. And then on offense, same deal. I just added a few pieces here and there. We got some good development. And we won 2 Super Bowls out of 3 seasons here in this rebuild. That's going to do it for me, though. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. If you enjoyed, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. If you have any other teams you want to see, regardless of if they're good or not, let me know down below. If you want to see a Chiefs rebuild, if you want to see, who else is a good team that we haven't done yet? Eagles. If you want to see an Eagles rebuild. If you want to see I don't know who else, a Lions rebuild, even though they're pretty good. Just any team, any team you want to see, let me know down below in the comments, and I will take them on board. But thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.